Alright, for the past few days I've been completely hooked on World of Tanks Blitz. Blitz is an incredibly fun game that you can play pretty much anywhere. And I know what a lot of people are gonna say. Mono, you should play War Thunder, or you should play World of Tanks, the actual PC game, because those games are just better, more realistic, they have better graphics, and so on. And I know that. I absolutely 100% know that to be the case. And that this is just some arcadey tank game, and I love it. The reason that I'm playing this and not those other quote-unquote better games is time. The time you need to invest in Blitz is absolutely minimal. Each round lasts for around 5 minutes tops. The hard limit is 7, but most are over much faster. And if you're unlucky enough to be one of the first ones to go down, we're talking about around 2 minutes. Both War Thunder and World of Tanks PC version have matches that are considerably longer, 15 minutes or so to an hour depending on the game mode. And I just don't have time for that. I already spend a lot of time playing games that I cover on the channel like Ghost of Tsushima or Hell Let Loose, so Blitz is like my own personal game that I can play for a couple of rounds without worrying about what I'm gonna get from that time investment. I'm not looking to make a guide or some other video with it, and I can just play it literally everywhere. It's on my laptop, it's on the Switch, it's on the cell phone, and my desktop PC. I'm going on vacation for a week, and chances are that I'll be playing Blitz on the airport. But obviously, this practicality isn't the reason that I'm playing this game. I'm playing it because it's a surprisingly deep game that requires you to learn to master not only the tank that you're playing with, but also understand the tanks that you face to exploit their weaknesses and negate their strengths. Battles in Blitz are 7v7 encounters that feature a wide range of different tanks. There are light tanks, heavy tanks, medium tanks, and tank destroyers spanning several decades of actual tank development history and different nations. There's also some really silly fantasy tanks like the Dracula or the Eraser, which are entirely made up. At first, I didn't like the inclusion of these fantasy tanks in the game because they really stand out against the more historically accurate tanks like the Tigers and Shermans, but whatever, in the end, it's just a little arcade game. But that doesn't mean it's simplistic or shallow in its gameplay. You see, each tank serves a specific role. Light tanks are good for spotting the enemy, but basically have no armor. Heavy tanks can take a beating and are actually really good at delivering them as well. But these nuances are further enhanced by the differences between each nation and different research paths. French tanks often have autoloaders, which enable them to fire several rounds in quick succession and then have a lengthy reload. German tanks have powerful and accurate guns, but their armor geometry is not the best. American tanks have great gun depression and strong turrets, which allow you to dominate from hull-down positions, meaning that something like a Russian heavy tank will play very differently to a British heavy tank, which is noticeable both when using those tanks and when facing them in battle. British tanks have fast-firing weapons, which will quickly chip away at your HP, while Russian tanks often have slow reloads, but fire devastating shots which will halve your HP or even take you out in a single shot. And I absolutely love this type of stuff in a game, where knowledge is as good or even better than having great reflexes and aim. Blitz doesn't demand precision, it doesn't demand any complex execution. All it needs is for you to be focused and concentrated and thinking about what's going on. The controls are simple and the UI is very good at giving you all the information you need. You know if a shot is going to penetrate or not as you aim it. You know how accurate your gun is, and you know how much damage you do with each shot. There's some randomness to this, but not too much, so most of the time, whether you win or lose depends on your ability to make the most out of your strengths and engage the enemy in the right way. Obviously, your team has a huge part in this, and sometimes you're paired with a good team, and sometimes you're not. But say for example, I'm driving a Churchill, so if I'm driving a Churchill, I want to go somewhere where I can brawl. I don't want to get caught out in the open because the armor is only really good at the front, and the tank is too slow to be able to defend against any flanking attacks. The T-29 has an incredible turret armor, so I need to find a spot where I can shoot the enemy without exposing the more fragile tank body and only showing the turret. And all of this does have some basis on reality. The Tiger is a really good tank compared to other tanks in its same tier, and it has the good armor and the good gun that you'd expect. The T-34 is a great medium tank that will bounce plenty of shots due to its geometry, but its gun isn't as accurate as the one on the Panzer IV. It's a simplistic but effective approximation that means tanks will more often than not perform as you'd expect them to. And the best part is that it's free. Despite this being a mobile game, I don't think this is a pay-to-win game for several reasons. First of all, you can get the premium currency, which is gold, for free, entirely for free, by watching ads in the mobile game, in the mobile version of the game. And in fact, you can also watch ads to get additional experience and money from your battles. Now, is that a shitty way to go about it? Kind of, but the company does need to make money some way, so if you're not willing to drop a few bucks, then at least you have this as an alternative. There are some tanks that are really good and you can only get them by spending gold, but you can get enough gold with those ads to do so. Also, some of the regular free tanks that you get by just playing the game are incredible, like the T1 Heavy American tank. Yes, almost all the premium tanks which you buy with gold perform really well, but you do have the same chances of them being on your team as on the enemy team. I can't say that I've ever felt like the game was forcibly matching me against specific tanks to be tempted to spend some money on them or anything like that. In fact, some players with premium tanks think they will automatically win and get careless and make a ton of mistakes. So, in short, I think you guys should definitely play this. If you're looking for a nice little game to play on the side every now and then definitely give this a shot. I enjoy playing this on PC the most, but playing on my Switch is great as well, and lastly, playing it on your phone is doable, but it's not something that I really enjoy. Alright, that's gonna be it for today. I definitely recommend you try this game out. It's a lot of fun without having to invest too much time in it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. And as always, thank you for watching, and I hope I will catch you on the next one.